Have you ever been good at something before you picked something up and you thought you were naturally good and you practiced it for a long amount of time and then you realize it's actually harder than you initially thought it was? Well, I have, and I've had it with many things. I've had it with this thing here, a Rubik's Cube. I worked out how to solve this when I was probably, I don't know, 15, 16, and it took me maybe 10 minutes for the first time. And I got it down from 10 minutes to about 40 seconds within probably 2 or 3 months of practicing it. And then from 40 seconds, it got really hard and I stopped practicing because it was so hard to get it down from 40 to 30, let alone even down to 20, right? Whereas there's some guys there who are doing it in like fucking 5 or 10 seconds. It's nuts. And that's like an average. It's crazy, right? But the thing is, this is easy to learn how to solve, but it's hard to get better at. Look behind me. There's a dartboard. I bought a dartboard. I started playing it. I realized I was getting really good really quickly. I was like, damn, I'm a fucking natural at darts. I'm going to become a professional darts player one day. And then I hit a plateau and I was like, this is harder than I initially thought. I'm actually not that good at darts. I'm actually relatively average. And then you realize the guys who are good at darts, who are at the top of the game, they're not just average. Well, they might be average. They might not even be super talented, but they've fucking practiced over and over and over and over again for years and years and years and years. And that's why they are good at something. Now, why the fuck am I talking about Rubik's Cubes and darts? Well, I'm going to explain to you, right? It's the same concept with gym and training, and this is why most guys can't follow through with their training. You see, most guys start with way too much confidence, right? They'll watch a few videos, buy some protein, think they have it all sorted. Within a month, they'll crash and burn and they'll realize that it's actually harder than they initially thought. Or it may even take 6 months. They've got this mad, wonderful vision of where they want to be. And they're like, all right, I'm going to start training. I sort of know the equipment. I'm going to train with my mates. I sort of know how to track my calories, kind of. How hard can it be to get jacked? It's not that hard, right? And then after about a month, or maybe 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 or 6, progress starts to slow down. And they fit in this middle ground with just average people. And they're like, fuck, it's actually a lot harder than I initially thought. I'm not making progress. Well, it must be my genetics. It must be my job. It must be my metabolism. Blah, blah, fucking blah. And I hear this all the time. The thing is, though, it's not a discipline problem. It's a knowledge and a structure problem. If I want to get better at this, I need to know some more advanced strategies to solve this, right? I don't know if you've ever solved these ones, like one of these things before, but like there's a bunch of algorithms and stuff, right? So you need to like learn and memorize things. Now, in order to get faster, you need to take more shortcuts and learn more algorithms, right? If you want to get better at this, at darts, you need to learn how to hold it. You need to learn how to throw it. You need to focus and ground yourself as you throw it so it doesn't go off target. You need practice and you need repetition. You need strategy. If you're playing a game of darts, I don't know if you played darts before, usually you start from like 501 and you work your way down to try finish on a double. You need a strategy. You can't just aim for any old fucking number. You got to know what numbers work best, what combinations you can hit in order to get to 0 the fastest, right? So there's a bunch of strategies behind it. Now, these are really simple examples because they're so black and white, but the gym is the exact same. You've got your training, you've got your meals, right? You've got you've got exercise selection, you've got reps, you've got sets, you've got like protein targets, you've got macros. Most guys don't even realize all this shit that goes into it when they start, and that's why they crash and burn so quickly. This is called the Dunning-Kruger effect, and it's so common, and it happens with everyone because they overestimate their ability to do something, but they don't know what they don't know yet. And what I mean by that is, when you start throwing darts, you're like, oh, this is kind of easy. All you do is you just throw it. And then there's all these things that you realize are actually harder than you initially thought. And there's more that goes into it. You think, oh, once I solve this, once I learn how to do it, it can't be that hard, right? Well, no, there's so much more that goes into it. With gym, there is so much more that goes into it. It's not just eating more. It's not just training harder. It's like macros. It's meal timing. You know, it's like systemizing your training through phases, through macro cycles. It's sets, it's reps, it's intensity, it's form, it's technique, it's optimization, it's supplementation, sleep. Fucking how many factors are there? It's crazy. So what happens is after like the first 6 months, guys will think they know everything and then they'll hit a plateau and then they'll fucking crash and burn and they call it the valley of despair and confusion. And that's where you've probably been before, and that's where you've been crash and burnt, and that's why you haven't made progress in the past. But once you get past this point, and once you get some structure and consistency in place, then you start to slowly creep up at a good rate, and you start to understand it more and 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 more. This ideally should probably go up and up and up and up. There shouldn't really be a plateau here. I should have made it go up, right? We're always on the up. I've been training for 5.5 years now, and I still have a coach. He coaches the strongest man in the world. I want to become the strongest man in the world. I don't think I have a will. I don't have the genetics of this guy, right? There's a difference between like not having the genetics to be strong, but like having the genetics to be a fucking world beater. Like this guy's insane. He's like a fucking Neanderthal. Anyway, but I still want to be incredibly strong and be an elite level lifter. I'm also natural. This guy's not, right? But in order to get there, I need to work with the best people and the best coaches to help me, right? Because I got into powerlifting and I thought, it's pretty easy. You just lift heavy shit, right? You just like squat, bench, dead. Well, no, it's way more complicated than that. You have to pick movements that are going to replicate the squat, bench, and deadlift. You have to then monitor intensity. You have to then, adjust sets, reps, rest times, things like that. It's like, oh shit, there's actually more to it. There's like, if your knees are caving in, you need to work on exercises that are going to bring your knees out and like strengthen your legs in that position other than just doing more deadlifting. You have to squat with perfect position, right? All this shit that I've learned over the years is like, damn, I never even would have thought this was a thing when I first started, and as you work with me, as we work together, you will understand and realize there are things you didn't even realize were a thing, until you started. You're like, oh shit, I didn't even realize there was different types of carbohydrates. Like certain carbohydrates release like quicker and slower than others. Like what the fuck? That's crazy. Wait, there's such thing as too much protein? I thought you just eat as much protein as you can. Oh wait, you go more on carbs than protein because carbs are, are more efficient for your body to then break down. They're also easier to get in, and like, if you have more protein than you need, then it's going to convert into just carbohydrates anyway. Normal people don't know this shit. This is not common information, and this is stuff you will learn and will help you get to this point of competence. And that is why the muscle method is so effective, is because it gives you the structure and steps you need in order to get to where you want to be, so you keep succeeding and you keep progressing through structure and knowledge, right? You may hit a crash and burn point. You may think it's fucking harder than you initially thought, but guess what? That's like it is with everything. And if you want to solve this faster, or get better at this, or get jacked and build bigger muscles, or get better at sport, whatever it is, it takes fucking time, it takes knowledge, it takes patience, right? And it takes a fucking good program. You've got a great program. You've got a great meal plan. You just have to be able to apply yourself to it, and don't throw in the towel if it starts to get hard.